So today we're going to be talking about a new report from Alexa Philippou about the WNBA CBA. So this came out about an hour or so ago. Well, not even an hour or so ago, about 35 minutes ago. And it is giving the first official numbers that we have seen it's the first official numbers we've seen so far. And, well, we've seen with guaranteed numbers. And this one is very interesting because I think this has to be very close. We have to be very close to this being done. Like, I don't think there's no way you can argue the slap in the face about these numbers. You can definitely, if you're the WNBA and you're the PA, you don't have to accept these numbers, but this has to be close. Like, we have to be close. We have to be within like 15%. We have to be at least 85% of the way there, I'd say. So let's take a listen. Apologies.
On the WNBA CBA negotiations, we have some new developments, and we welcome in our WNBA reporter, Alexa Philippou. Alexa, what more can you tell us about where things stand at the moment?
Yeah, George, well, there was a lot of meeting, a lot of back and forth over the last few weeks in hopes of trying to get some movement as yesterday's extension neared. And I can report that, we saw a report a few weeks ago on the league's proposals to the players. I actually have some updated numbers I'd like to share you all of where the league's latest proposal stands. Right now, they are offering a deal with a salary for players at the maximum with a $1 million guaranteed base, projected revenue sharing, pushing those total earnings for maximum players to more than $1.2 million. Sources have told me just now. The average salary projection under this deal, the average salary across the board is projected to exceed $500,000. The minimum salary would be projected to exceed $225,000, sources tell me. And the salary cap would actually increase to $5 million a year, and sources say would be directly tied to revenue growth each year of the CBA. Right now, for a little bit of a frame of reference, the salary cap for 2025 is around $1.5 million. So these are different.
So that's guaranteed money, by the way. That is guaranteed money, I have to say, the $5 million salary cap. Because, obviously, if you know, the max contract is it guaranteed money? 500? 12 by 500k equals 6 million. So I'm guessing that doesn't really make sense. I'm guessing that's 500 plus the revenue share. It's maybe 400 is the base guarantee, is the minimum, is the average guarantee, which is still double the max of the last CBA. You're in a really good spot. It's still the highest paid sports league in the world. Women's sports league, that is. Because if we're being honest, there really wouldn't be one of those things where it's like you wouldn't be seeing anything spectacular in terms of like overall money in Project B. Like, people don't understand. When everyone talks about the salaries up to 2 million, that's the headliners. Like, there's going to be 30 players in Project B on 70k a year. Like, that's the way these leagues work. If you've ever seen the way any of these, like, Saudi leagues, even, like, Live Golf has all the prize money, which is huge. And they have, to get the stars, they pay them a fortune. But if you're not one of the stars in these leagues, you're not getting paid that well. And I would not, I think the WNBA is going to trump any league in average salary and will have double to triple the amount of players of any of them. Or if it's in a rival's case, 5 times the amount of players? Or 4 times the amount of players? Like, I think we have to be very close with those numbers. We have to be very close. Like, I think still, you can, I think, you see the revenue, they say the revenue share up to 1.2. Maybe that is the guaranteed number that they have to hit. Maybe it's something like that. But, like, I think we're within maybe 200k of the base salary. Because even if the player, even if you want to argue that the players deserve more, you also have to take into account that how many players in the league, basically their pro dreams are over. Like, there are a lot of players who have lived on, and people over glamorize what these players are making overseas. The reality is that a lot of these players are making like 40, 50k And then obviously you're living in accommodation and expenses. Unless if you're the top of the top who don't need the money, who are multimillionaires, you're making, unless you're them, you're making maybe 40 to 50K in an overseas league, and you're playing the WNBA for 80K. Maybe you're making a little more overseas, but like you're making about the same in both of them. You're making about 150K a year. And if you have, and that is more than half the league, which with everything combined is on under 200K a year. So when you have the opportunity for it being an average, to be, those players go from 200K to $500,000 a year. So their salaries double and triple. If the top players definitely deserve more than this 1 million, and it's the top couple of players screwing over 100 players, screwing 100 players out of 300K just so that they can make an extra couple of 100K themselves. I don't know if that'll go down particularly well. I think we have to be very close. We have to be very close because they have to be careful to not destroy the league and not to ruin all the role players, not to screw over all of them, and to actively because does Caitlin Clark deserve more money? Yeah, but Caitlin Clark's making $80,000 or making $90,000 next year, and no CBA is going to change that because she's under contract. She's making $90,000 next year, so it doesn't really matter. Any of these numbers don't matter for her. Do X, Y, and Z play? There's always going to be players that are underpaid and overpaid in a league that is in an American sports league with a salary cap and a CBA. There's always going to be overpaid and underpaid players, and I do think an average of $500,000 salary. Is it where the players want to be? No. But is it where, at this point in time, is it potentially close to being the best that the players can argue at this point in time with the history of the league bleeding money up until this point? Probably. I still think the players should, I think one of the biggest things that the players should argue for is a shorter term CBA where you have all the leverage, because as much as there were leverage, as much as they want to say, oh, look, the revenue's going up and up, or the viewing's going up and up and up, the finals didn't. The All-Star game didn't. Basically, the more Caitlin Clark is on national TV, or Caitlin Clark's team are on national TV, the greater the league looks. And then you have a team in Golden State who pack out their home arena every single game. So yeah, obviously, the total numbers are going to go up. But I do think that it's very much a thing where there's going to be a lot of people in those CBA negotiations on the owner's side are like, this isn't sustainable because this is just a Caitlin bubble, which you're going to need more than 18 months to see whether it's going well or whether it's a Caitlin bubble. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.